Well, hello, everybody. It's the Pearl of Wisdom Show. And all of your NHL frolic is here right now. So, yeah, as John Weichel has said, that Jimmy Hayes passes away at 31 years old. No known reason why so far that he did pass away. Hey, how you doing, Hockey News Reports? It's been a long time. I'm going to go live on my YouTube too, or my TikTok as well. No, no, I don't want to do that. I did Perlo Dance already. You missed it. You got to be here right in the beginning, people. Come on now. How's it going? What have you been up to? There, see? I did. Right in the beginning. You got to be here right in the beginning. Then you can catch it all the time. Right in the beginning. And stay till the end. We're going to get this up on TikTok too. Jimmy Hayes passed away, yeah. Yeah, no mention as to why or what have you at 31 years old. I know that when he was in Boston, there was some alcohol issues or whatever, substance abuse issues he had, but which, leads you to think that there could be some issues down that road. Unfortunately, he has two young girls and a young family there. It's tough. That's tough. I bet you the Hayes family's having a rough one today for sure. Could have been like, yeah. Where did he go? He went. They traded Riley Smith to Florida for Jimmy Hayes, and he's a Boston boy. The Hayes brothers are from Boston, so they thought maybe bringing him back home and everything would get him back on track again because he had all the tools. He was a big guy. He still played like quite a few games. I think he played like almost 400 NHL games regardless of his issues. So I don't know when. I just heard about it just before the show started today. So my tie is all askew. I heard about it just before the show. So don't know much about it. They don't say much about it. Just that he passed away. That's it. So that's privacy, right? They're going to keep it private. Not really anything we need to know, anyways. 3 hockey players killed. What? What do you mean? Louis Erickson, yeah. Yeah, you know what? He probably wouldn't even be able to do that well. So I doubt very much you could get Louis Erickson to do something like that. He should for what he's getting paid. That's something that he could do to help out the fan base. He's gonna have lots of wonder if he'll actually make the roster there in Arizona. Because that roster, if you can't make that roster, you're in. I don't think he will. There's a question. Is Louis Erickson going to make the roster in Arizona? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that drives you crazy about Louis Erickson is it's not really that he's bad as much as that he thinks he's good still. Like he goes into the room thinking like, "Hey, come on, guys, let's do it today," and they're like, "Okay, buddy, like you're not going to be playing, you know that, right?" Tocchet hasn't gone anywhere. No, I think Tocchet has a stigma about him because the system he played in Arizona was not very good for developing players. He just wanted to win. Which I guess you say you want a coach to do that, but you need to develop players as well. And crowding around the goaltender and just blocking shots all day is not really a system that you're going to win at too often. 3 hockey players killed in a car crash in BC. What kind of hockey players? Okay, 3 teenagers? Okay. Surrey, BC. Personal hockey coach. I don't know. I would drive me nuts. I don't think you could pay me enough to coach that guy. Like the first thing you have to let him know is that he's not good, you know. Until Eriksson actually realizes he's not good, there's not much you can help him with. I mean, if he thinks he's good, then how are you going to improve from there? He won't, like, he had arguments with Green. He thought he should be in the top line, and yeah, first of all, yeah, you have to get into that realization that you're not good right now. It's not because of the coach. It's not because of your playing time. It's not because of your line mates. It's because you're not good right now. You're not going into the areas that you need to go into to score, you know, which, you know, you could probably get away with in Europe, but you're not going to get away with it here. And I don't know, he's a very weird guy. When he played in Dallas, when Louis Eriksson was in Dallas, the guy was like a Selke Trophy caliber winger. You know, he's getting like 50, 60 points. And somewhere along the line, it seems to be right around the time that he got his big paycheck, he just kind of mailed it in. So I'm not doing this no more. Hey guys, we're talking NHL hockey here. Thanks for coming in. Tell me what you want to say about it. Well, that's the thing. I remember when they made the trade. Was it Roussel and what's that guy from Washington, the center from Washington that went with them? Roussel and help me out. The center that played in Washington and then went to Vancouver, they gave him a ridiculously large contract because he can do Beagle. Roussel and Beagle. They must have been like their agent must have called them up and said, "I've got bad news and worse news. Which one do you want first?" The bad news? Okay, the bad news is you're going to Arizona. What? Like, they're veterans going to Arizona to play. And what's the worst news? Louis Eriksson's going with you. get waves. Yeah, 3 million was ridiculous. Yeah, that would suck. Like at the very least, you'd be like, okay, I got traded to Arizona. Well, at least I get to get away from Louis Eriksson, anyways. And they're like, well, not really. No. Who would want Eriksson? Somebody actually wants Eriksson? Yeah, that's just terrible. Like, what a. Yeah, just so they could remove the Larson contract for long term and get a first round pick. I don't even know if Roussel will even play. Like, he's been so injured for a long time. So they might not be able to put him on long LTIR. And then, Beagle, whatever. Beagle will do what Beagle does. That team is going to be so bad. It's going to be brutal. It's got to go down as one of the worst teams of all time for sure. So, anyways, if we can get to 5 concurrent viewers, we're going to do the we're going to rate the general managers. I don't think so. I think Datsuk retired. I'm not sure. I never hear anything about it, so I imagine he probably is not playing in the NHL now. There is not playing anymore, because I would imagine you would have heard something about it by now. Yeah, well, I mean, they're building the right way in the sense that they're grabbing draft picks like crazy. Like next year, they have what, 2 firsts and 5 second-round draft picks. And there's probably more to come because Phil Kessel's going to get traded for sure. It seems more and more most likely that Arizona will get Shane Wright, but I mean they got to win the lottery. But sorry about that. I just shared the live. Shane, do you think the Flames are going to be that bad? That's a thing that I don't think they're going to be that bad. I think they'll be bad. They could. I mean, there's still a lottery, so they could get it. What teams do I think they need to trade their course soon? Pittsburgh Penguins should have been a long time ago. I'm going to be really interested to see what Hextall does with the Penguins. I think Letang will probably be gone this year. You would think. I mean, it depends where they are come playoff time, but I can't see them being. a playoff contender. But I said that last year, and I said that the year before, and they did it. So, but what other teams do I think should restart? That's a good question. I think Nashville's gotta. I think Nashville's got to start trading everybody away this year. I don't know how they're going to trade Johansson and Duchesne. Like, they're in a pretty messed up situation there. I don't know what they're going to do. They can't. Who's going to take Johansson and Duchesne right now? $8 million a year. Johansson's like a 40-point player playing on the top line where he probably shouldn't be playing. If we can get a couple more people either on TikTok or on the stream, we're gonna do the ratings for the general managers. Pittsburgh doesn't. No, they don't have any prospects. That's the problem. It's coming to an end here. Malkin is injured too often. I mean, people have said to me over and over again that Crosby will never leave Pittsburgh, and I don't believe that. I know that Philadelphia did. When Hextall was in Philadelphia, he did a pretty quick rebuild there. But I just don't see how he's going to do it. It'll be a miracle if he does it in Pittsburgh, though, because you got tradable players are Demelin, Letang, Gunsel. You got to trade Gunsel, I would even think. And then, you trade all those guys, and then you got to kind of have a nice, long conversation with Crosby. Like, you're going to stick around if you're. People say that Crosby will never leave Pittsburgh, but are you going to actually stick around if it's going to be like a burn down rebuild? I don't see how it can't be a burn down rebuild. I don't know how they can do it any other way. But I know when in Philadelphia he made some trades that were pretty good trades where they got players that were ready to play right now, like young prospects that were good. And I imagine that's what they could try to do. But by the way, Trenchcoat, I've never seen you in here. I hope you subbed up and everything. Love it. Thanks for coming in. It's awesome. Jason Zucker probably. I don't think you're going to get all that much for him unless he has a killer year, though. Let's go. Let's bring up Pittsburgh on the cap friendly here. He's 2023, so next year he's a free agent. Like, he only had 18 points in 38 games. He hasn't had a good year since 2018, like a really good year. I suppose you could say last year in Minnesota wasn't bad. How old is he? He's only 29? Wow. And he's making, what, $5 million? I don't think they'll get a first for him, maybe a second. Might get a second round draft pick for him. CL, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the live. You might get a second round pick for him, which is fine. It's a second round pick to a contender that wants some scoring or whatever. Hello, how you doing? Hello, doing hockey here. If you're into hockey, that's what we're doing. I'm on my YouTube show right now, my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. So if you have anything about hockey and what we're talking about, let me know. I'll peek over there in the comment section. When is he 30? That's a good question. Probably this year. January 16th. So in January, he's 30 years old. Still relatively young. Does it me, or does he look like he's older than that when he plays? I've never been a big Zucker guy. I thought he was okay. Somebody might give him a chance. He's not stellar defensively. He needs good players to play with him to play well, but scoring is always something that people are looking for come the deadline, so they'll probably get a second round pick. I mean, maybe even not even that, because is he a free agent after next year? Does he have one more year left on his contract? Yeah, he's got one more year left on his contract. I don't know if that's a bonus or not a bonus. I think they really got to hope that he has a great year, puts up a lot of points, and maybe they might be able to pull a first. Yeah, if you retain cap, you might, definitely get a second if you retain cap. Especially if you do it this year and next year. And if they're rebuilding, might as well. What's the point? And that's the thing. Like, then you got to trade Letang. You got to trade Demelin. There's no use keeping those guys. Like, why? Why keep them? What's Letang and who am I? I'm Pearl of Wisdom. I'm doing a show right now on my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Demelin is what? 2023 as well, so you might as well trade him. Chris Letang is a UFA next year. Yeah, trade him. Trade them all, man. Trade Gunsel. You'll get a seriously good package for Gunsel. He's got a couple of years left on his contract. Brian Rust. They can get a lot of picks back. They could get a lot of picks back and really start this rebuild right. But I just have a feeling that's not going to happen. I don't know. I think a Pius Suter is about as good as he's going to get. Well, I mean, you might get lots for Rust, but I think there is a perception, accurate or not, that Rust is Rust. Rust has done what he's done because of who he plays with. But if somebody views Rust like a Hyman or something like that, yeah, you could get a crap load for him. No, it wouldn't make any sense to get Eichel, I don't think. I don't even know, like, if Eichel probably wouldn't be happy with that. Yeah, they're not even talking about the fact that Rasmus Dahlin is not signed yet. Nobody's even brought it up. He's a restricted free agent, so he doesn't really have much leverage. I'm sure they'll sign him to something. If I'm Rasmus Dahlin, I'm strongly considering asking for a trade out of Buffalo. You know, send me to Nashville or something where they're known for developing defensemen, and I can get my career on track to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, they still have some decent young players. They're getting a little thin. They're getting a little thin, but that'll probably be taken care of after next year quite a bit. I think there's going to be a little bit of a sell-off after next year. Could be wrong, but they got to start getting some picks. I don't know how much they're going to care about that, or if they're just going to keep on going and trying to win as many cups and then just go do a burn down rebuild. But I don't know, Tampa Bay, if you can do it, it'd be best not to have to do a rebuild like that. The thing with them is they just drafted well, even in the late rounds. That's how you save yourself from having to do a burn down rebuild, for sure. If you can draft well in the late rounds, like St. Louis kept all their picks, but they didn't really draft all that great in the late rounds, and now it's looking like the very thing they were trying to avoid is going to happen here soon. No, I think they're a contender for sure. No doubt about it. But doesn't Tampa have to... I don't think Finley's that great. He's like another bottom 3, 4. They have like bottom pairing guys, stuff like that. Which is what you get in those later rounds usually. You're trying to find the best, fill out your third lines. Hopefully some of them you hit them out of the park and they get some offense out of them as well. Well, lately, like they traded their first in the Goudreau trade. And now I don't think they can afford to do that now. I don't think they can afford to trade their first anymore. I bet you they won't. They're not going to trade their first for a while. I mean, yeah, I guess hot seat hockey. If you're going to pick a hot seat coach, I guess, but there's not too many coaches on a hot seat right now. I think Sheldon Keefe has done very well with what he had. I mean, they were 7th in defense last year. And if you look at their defense on their roster, you wouldn't really say, and their goaltending, you wouldn't really think, okay, this is going to be a top 7 defense. So I don't know if they're going to trade. I think they're going to roll with their team they have right now. Maybe at the deadline they'll fill out a little bit, but I just don't think they're going to trade their first. They'll see what their injuries are and stuff like that. Yeah, AV is probably the biggest on the hot seat right now, I would say. If Philadelphia doesn't start off well, if they're out of the playoffs, if they're looking like they're going to be out of the playoffs close to halfway through the season, I could definitely see that. Galchenyuk, I don't know, man. Maybe someplace like, I don't know. Galchenyuk is just, he's got such a poor IQ for the game. For an NHL player, he's got all the tools, but he doesn't know how to use his teammates well. He does the same thing all the time. Somebody will pick him up as a depth guy somewhere along the line. He's the kind of guy that just gets the $1 million contract, $1 million contract, $1 million contract. He'll like another hip surgery, yeah. Yeah, I think AV could definitely be a guy on the hot seat for sure. Laviolette, possibly, although what are you going to do with that roster now? Like, there's a team that should probably rebuild, but aren't going to, obviously. Who else could be in the hot seat? Yeah, there's not too many guys that you can actually say that are on the hot seat right now. Maybe DeBoer. Maybe DeBoer, just because, I mean, they already showed. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, maybe, like, if they're really, really bad, he's supposed to be a short window coach. So if they don't get going and they don't play well right away, like, he's a 2-year window coach. That's what everybody thinks. This will be the second year. If they're not in a playoff spot, they might just say, you know what, it's time to go. I just don't know what that Washington team's going to do now. They've been so loyal to their old guys that it's looking pretty dangerous for that team. They're on the side of things getting dangerously ugly there. Lauren, how you doing, Lauren? We got 5 concurrents. We could almost do our general manager thing right here soon. We could start it now. So that's probably what we'll do. Now we got our 5 concurrent viewers. Are you guys in to do some general manager grading now? I don't think Doug Wilson's on the hot seat now, because I don't think Doug Wilson wanted to do half the crap that he had to do there. I don't think he wanted to sign Carlson to that long-term contract. I don't think a lot of things. You guys want to do the general manager grading? Let's go. All right. Okay. Anaheim GM grading. I did the video. I did the video for the coach grading, but at the end it screwed up, and I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I don't know. I don't want to redo it again. I hate it because it takes like 45 minutes to do it. I don't really want to do it again, but I might have to. But we can do GM grading. And we start with the Anaheim Ducks and Murray. Bob Murray, Anaheim Ducks. Bob Murray, basically, to me, what has Bob Murray done? Oh, okay, cool. Are they doing a rebuild, or are they not doing a like? I don't. He's got a difficult situation there in Anaheim, but because he's got to be careful. They got to stay competitive in a sense because they have sponsors and they don't have a large fan base. But you got to poop or get off the pot. I don't think he's done anything. You guys are giving him okay, what do we got? A C+ by Lauren. John Weichel, C-. We may do that. We can do that later, but we're doing this one now. So, Hockey News Report, C+. And what did Trenchcoat Oiter go? He got a B. So I give him like a D minus. I CLC. I give him a D minus because this team needs to rebuild, the frick build totally. Like, what the heck is Manson and what poor Gibson sitting there every day going, what am I gonna do with this? Like, he's in the heart of his career, and there's no end in sight to the losing there in Anaheim. So okay, I gave him a D minus. It probably isn't even his fault because ownership probably are telling them that they don't want to do a burn down rebuild, but they're sucking anyways. I mean, if you're going to suck, you might as well suck, right? They're probably going to be bottom of the league anyways. So why have Manson and Larson and Lindholm and guys like that there? Like, I don't, it doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, so C plus, C minus, C, B, D. It sounds like a C. Sounds like Murray gets a C. Oh, is Anaheim a tax hell too? I didn't even know that. Well, that's part of the problem too. But I mean, free agents are not what they need right now, anyways. They need draft picks, as many draft picks as they possibly can get. Just draft pick, draft pick, draft pick, draft pick. Okay, next, Boston Bruins. Sweeney. How has Sweeney done the last little while? Like, to me, like, Sweeney is like one step forward, one step back. That 2015 draft is going to absolutely plague him. Oh, yeah, I forgot it was Arizona. I'm sorry. It's not Boston, it's Arizona. Arizona. Armstrong. Bill Armstrong, Arizona. Yeah, okay, I scratched out Boston. We'll do Boston after this. It's Armstrong. I mean, for what he's meant to do, I'm going to give him an A. He's there to rebuild. He's doing a damn good job of it. He picked up draft picks like freaking crazy in very unique ways. 2 firsts and 5 seconds next year. He's there to rebuild and he's doing it. So he loaded them with picks. I gave him an A. Wow, all over the place. Arizona's finally. CL gives him a B, D minus, F minus. Weichel. How can Armstrong get an F minus? He's doing exactly what he was meant to do, told to do. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, and that's a rebuild. Arizona. What did you give him? Arizona is an A. Trenchcoat said the same thing. So we got an A, a B, an F minus. Okay. 2 A's. How do you do that? I guess it would be a B. Yeah, I know they suck, but that's not. It's not Arizona that we're grading. We're grading the general manager and what he's. That's again not Sheikha's term. It's the general manager himself. It's not the organization. We're not grading the organization. The organization is an F all day, no doubt about that. But I think Armstrong has done very good for Arizona, doing what he needs to do to get that rebuild going. And, you know, but I got to give him a B because we were all over the place there. Now Bruins. Boston Bruins next. Sweeney. What has Sweeney done? Yeah, he wasn't there before. He was Sheika, right? So he's only been there 2 years. Not even. And in the time that he's there, he's totally rebuilt that. A- for Sweeney. Okay, let's look at what Sweeney has done. Maybe they might relocate, but if they can find another, if they go back to their old arena, they have that arena in Tempe. So it's possible that they stay. Sweeney is tough because I honestly, what has he really done? Did he bring Charlie Coyle in? I mean, that wasn't great. This 2015 draft was a disaster for that team. They could be a monster right now. Lauren says B. I'm really on the fence about. He brought in Smith. That was okay. Traded for Hall. Like they're 1 step forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward. Oh, did Peter Chiarelli do the Charlie Coyle deal? Okay, that's not his fault. He brought in Foligno when they needed it. Yeah, C plus. C plus for me. I got a B, a D. What else you guys got? Got Hall for next to nothing, yeah. And went out and got Allmark. I think that was a nice move. His signings have been pretty good, but his drafting has been absolutely horrible. Except for getting Brandon Carlo in that 2015 draft saved him a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about hockey. Hey, Lai, sorry about that. I keep on forgetting I have my TikTok on. We're talking hockey here. We're grading general managers. Okay, we need to do grades, guys. Come on, give me some grades. Yeah. So far we have 2 grades for this and a whole lot of people in here. Thanks for all coming in. We're grading the general managers for every NHL team. You can do it too here on TikTok. I don't think that was a Sweeney draft. Come on, Hockey News Report. You guys give me a grade. CA had, A- for CL. B. Wow, we're all over the place on this one. Remember when you put your grade in, also say for what team it's for, so I don't miss it. All right. Well, I guess people are shy to grade the Boston Bruins here, so I'm going to put my grade in at B-. Okay. We got what did we have? We had Lauren had a B-, A-, D, and a C plus. So I'd say B minus then. B minus. And I had a C plus. Okay, next. Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo Sabres general manager. Can you really give Adams a grade right now? Okay, we're doing general manager rankings. Each general manager of every NHL team, TikTok fans. Thanks for coming in, by the way. Can we really give Buffalo a grade right now? Oh my gosh. Lawrence says an F right off the top. Lawrence says an F for the Buffalo Sabres. I don't think Adams has been, but what has he really been able to do? He wasn't able to sign Allmark. I don't really understand that. The draft was, everybody was on Power. He did hire Granato. That was good. There wasn't much he could do with the Hall thing because Hall had he was blocking everything. He only wanted to go to Boston. Reinhart also blocked him from going to a lot of places because he only certain places he would re-sign with. So he had a limited opportunity to get much out of Reinhart. He should have traded Allmark at the deadline. I agree with you there. That is a good point. Why wouldn't he? Was Allmark hurt at the deadline though? Was Allmark injured at the deadline? I think he'll hold out on that. Yeah, I think a C seems fair to me too. Because it's really just a limited window. It's a limited sample size of his work right now. C minus for CL, C minus for Wyko. Hockey News Report says a C and an F minus for Lauren. And trench coat, did you put one in, buddy? Kevin Adams is not going to get fired yet. I didn't see Trenchcoat put anything in. Did I miss it? If not, you can put it in a second because we got to get Motor in here. What's next? Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames, Tree Living. He hasn't he's signing Markstrom. Okay, here's what I say about the Adams moves for that Hockey News Reports. Bringing in Hall was like he was new to the organization. It was like a Hail Mary that Eichel and Hall would get along, would have a good chemistry. And if it didn't work out, he could get assets for him. So he bought assets. I didn't mind that deal. I didn't mind that. Bringing in Stahl was a character thing, trying to change the culture in the room. It failed, but it could have worked. I mean, there was just so much work that had to be done in that organization. He's got so much to do. right now. So I'm going to judge it later because it's difficult. Calgary is C-. That core needs to go. Lauren is D-. Weichel is D-. Sean Patton, welcome to the live, buddy. C. C, okay. C+ for CL. Wow. Yeah, there hasn't really been much. Well, let's face it, it just hasn't worked. What they've done so far has not worked. And we'll see if Sutter does it. It works out better for Sutter. What was the previous coach? I got to give him a C- myself. I don't think the Markstrom signing was very good. Tanev was okay. We're grading just the general manager's kind of work period sort of thing. Yeah, it's just the general manager in general. Their drafting has not been spectacular, but it's been okay. Yeah, I give the Flames a C-. I think as a whole we went C+, C, D-, 2 D-. I think C- is what we give them. They get a C-. Ward was there. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Ward. Took over for Ward, and we don't know how that's going to turn out. It's just been really weird moves for Calgary. Lucic, that was terrible. They got a long way to go, and Goudreau is not successful. Monahan has probably been there too long. Like I could even go as far as a D-. I could see that for sure. I think they should have did what Trenchcoat said and totally rebuilt that team. They got the best thing to do. The most important thing to do in a franchise is realize when things aren't working, and things weren't working. It's time to rebuild. You're still going to bring people into that arena. So, but we had C-, so that's what we had. Now we know Lauren's team is up next. Lauren's team is up next, the Carolina Hurricane. Hey guys, thank you. We're doing, we'll be doing Winnipeg. We're doing it in alphabetical order. Funny, so you will be doing it later. But right now, you can put your own. I should put you up here so I can see you a little better. I can't see these guys. Well, you can put your gradings down on TikTok too there if you want. Don Waddell. So what do we got in here so far? Weichel says a C- for Waddell. Sean Patton says a B+. Lauren says a B. Carolina is a B+, superb drafting. Yes, very good drafting. I agree with you there. Total, very, very good drafting. We're on Carolina Hockey News Reports. So the drafting has been fantastic. CL says B-. We're all over the board here. B+. I can't get past the fact that they won't get a bloody goaltender. That's the thing for me. It would be an A if it wasn't for that. The drafting has been excellent. They have I thought the D'Angelo signing was fantastic. I don't think they're better than they were last year, though, this year. And there's a question mark, but this whole stubbornness about not wanting to pay a goaltending just kind of ticks me off. So I'm going to give them a B. I got to give them a B. CL is B minus. Trench coat is B plus. Sean Patton is B plus. B. Loved what they have done, but this offseason I gave them the. I don't think Nedeljkovic. I didn't mind the movement in Nedeljkovic. It's not signing Bernier. To me, that's going to look really bad. Yeah, but LaFontaine is a kid yet. He's a kid. I don't care. He's still a kid. If he's the next Swayman, okay, maybe that's it. You know, if he's the next Swayman, that's all right. And I suppose that's probably what they're looking at with Anderson and that's probably what they're looking at with Anderson and Ranta. If they're injured, they're really, when it comes right down to it, all they care about is LaFontaine. Maybe that's it. And if you guys want to put your grades for the Carolina Hurricane general manager, put it down there. It's in TikTok as well, and I'll add them in here. Yeah. So I think that was a B. I think it worked out to a B it looked like. B. Okay, next. We may have to do this, the rest of this. We may not get through all of this. Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see. So, Carolina, Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks, Stan Bowman. Stan Bowman. Yeah, we already got the votes in. If you want to be in there for those votes, you got to be in here for the whole program. John Weichel gives them an A. Lauren, B minus. Blackhawks. The Blackhawks, man, I'm up and down with them. I think I got to give them an A minus because they just keep on making it work. They bring in European guys. Their drafting has been very good. Chicago is a D plus. Oh, please tell us, Trench. Why do you think D plus for the Chicago Blackhawks? I take it you're not a big fan of the Jones signing. Hockey News reports. That was a tough. Yeah, Boquist 2 firsts and a second is B plus. CL B plus. Having Lankinen in your back pocket and bringing him out. The thing I love about Chicago is they were rebuilding and their players didn't know it. So they're all playing for the cup like they're not rebuilding, but they know there's not even going to get close. So guys like Taves and those guys are like scratching their head going, after they traded Crawford, they're like, wait, we're rebuilding? Nobody told me we were rebuilding. Spencer Smoth, thanks for coming in, buddy. Get yourself all subbed up and sit down. Thank you for your contribution there. Sean Patton, B plus, C plus. Wow. So we got C plus, a B minus, a B plus, a D plus for Trench. Lauren, B minus. Wow, we're all over the place here. It seems to me, and Weichel an A. I think the average here looks like about a B. Depends how good you think Boquist is, and I think he's good. So, Yeah, I think he's very good. I think Boquist could be just as good as Jones. It all depends on what happens with Jones in Chicago because he's going to be able to play his offensive style game now. His numbers could look really good in Chicago. Never mind the picks. I agree. I totally agree with you. That's why we have these fantastic interact because you guys know, like, freaking fans here know crap loads about hockey. I totally agree with you. That trade, I think they gave up too much, but the Bowmans always come out smelling. I don't like saying that they did something wrong because they probably see something in Jones and they're going to turn some things around. And Jones is going to become the player everybody thought he would, and then we're all going to look stupid. But yeah, it is dog time. It was supposed to be the first overall. What? We'll get to that after, but it looked like I got a B for Chicago. And I had a B plus just because of the way they did their rebuild was crazy good. Was sneaky, yes, but brilliant at the same time. All their young players got an opportunity to see what it meant to be see what it meant to play for a team that's trying to make and win the playoffs from guys like Taves and all that who just seemed to be oblivious to the fact that they were rebuilding, which I found kind of funny. But anyways, I gotta go. We gotta go. We're gonna go on a bit of a break here. We'll be right back to do. If we don't get to all of them today, we'll do the rest tomorrow. That's okay. And remember, I'll be doing a video about this, so you guys will be able to watch the video. So I'll be back in a second, guys. Time for a word from our sponsor.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taking care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger, and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
Alrighty, here we go. Back again. Okay, so we did the Blackhawks. Now we are going to Chicago Blackhawks. The Colorado Avalanche. This should be an easy one. This should be a pretty easy one. The guy hasn't made one mistake, I don't think, yet. Has Colorado made a mistake yet? Has Joe Sakic? Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, we lost some people. That's the thing about doing that commercial. You lose people, but they come back. They'll come back. They were having too much fun. They'll be back. So the Colorado Avalanche. Losing Graves was bad, but yeah, they had to give room for Byram anyways. I think they're okay. They grabbed Murray. I think they're still fine. Sean Patton has an A minus. A minus. What was the minus for, Sean Patton? Colorado, CL has an A. Lauren has a B. Yeah, Abs getting back, Kemper was pretty darn good. We'll see how he turns out. He did have some injury issues. Just haven't gone over the top, yeah. I think B's a little low, but I mean, I get you. I think everything's set up for them to be a dynasty, so I give Sakic an A plus for everything that he's had to work with, and I was never a big Grubauer guy, so I know he had a good year, but I honestly think the defense there had more to do with that than Grubauer himself. We'll see if I'm right about that or not, because now Kemper's there. And the whole deal with Kemper was that he kept that Arizona team even close. So we'll see if that is. But we got a B, an A minus, and an A plus. And an A. So I would say that's about an A. That's about an A, I would say. And I put A+. Okay, next. The Dallas Stars. Jim Nill of the Dallas Stars. That is an interesting one because, I mean, oh my gosh. Great drafting. Fantastic drafting. Yeah, you know what? I think for the drafting alone, Stars get a D. Lauren, what? Why a D? What is it? Why would you give them a D? Why would you give Jim Nill a D? That's interesting. I'm not saying you're wrong. Probably something I haven't thought about. But I'm surprised. I'm just a little surprised you went with a D. They go after Holtby because they're trading Hudobin. That's why. Hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. Hudobin totally ticked off Bonus last year. Absolutely enraged him. Whatever he did was practically unforgivable. Like, I don't even think Bonus wanted to play him again, but probably ownership convinced him to. I agree. Holtby's not great, but it was probably the only goaltender they could get. Because who wants to play, like, if Hudobin was heading out, you know that, what's his name? Odemeyer, Ottinger. You know Ottinger is the number one. He slept in lots. He didn't just sleep in once. He slept in over and over and over again. Like, it just got, there was a finally it was just, that was it. And it probably was just not more than that. Probably was more than that. But who wants to play when you know Ottinger is there? Ottinger is going to be the number one there for sure. Plus you got Bishop possibly looming over your shoulder. So there probably wasn't too many goaltenders that wanted to go to Dallas. Holtby is sort of like a fallback position. Dallas a C. Wow. I think for drafting alone, Dallas is an A, is at least a B plus. Why do you give him such a low score, Sean? Their drafting has been absolutely fantastic. Like, they're so good at drafting. Dickinson would have been, yeah. Trenchcoat B, CL B plus, Sean C, Sean Patton C, D plus, AA. We're all over the place here. It looks like you're not impressed with Dallas drafting. They almost always hit on their firsts. Look at Robertson. You like Robertson, but you don't like Heiskanen? Let me bring up Dallas here. What do you mean? Ropo Hintz, Robertson, Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, Ty Dellandrea, Thomas Harley coming up. He's going to be a beast. All of those with late first-round picks. I'd say they did fantastic, but... Okay, so it looks like we got a B. I got a B plus. I got a B plus for Dallas. Yeah, I like it. Okay, next. Hey, how you doing? Whoever you are, thank you for coming in. We're doing draft. We're rating general managers on my YouTube channel, My NHL Pearls of Wisdom. You can come over there and sub up and do it, or you can put some ratings in the comment section for each team that we're doing here. Columbus Blue Jackets. This is going to be tough. How do you rate Kekalainen? Jackets, the Blue Jackets. Kekalainen. He's had such a tough go there. Kekalainen gets an A. C plus. Okay, we got it as a B, Sean. Jackets C plus. Poor Yarmo deserves better. Yeah, it's. It goes back to the Panarin move. You know full well that Panarin's going to leave, and you got him anyways. But can you blame him? Really? He's got a tough job in Columbus. You gotta. That's the thing. You got solid return for Jones. Laine could still work out for Dubois in a bad situation. His drafting has been spectacular. CL is a C. Every team pays a high price, yeah. C, A plus, A plus. Weichel, A, C plus. Wow. We're doing Detroit next. I got a B plus. So we got A plus. I got an A actually. So, but we got a lot of C pluses there and A's. So what the heck? Yeah, if they have to trade Laine, well, Laine's got to have a big year, but I can't blame him for the deal. It was worth the shot. I don't think he made really any mistakes. It's just he's had a very difficult minefield to go through there. So I think it works out to about an A minus. Because we have lots of A pluses. And we got C pluses. So I think it's an A minus or a B plus, one of the two. Somewhere around there. All right, next. Detroit Red Wings, Stevie Y. Is it like even possible to give Stevie Y a bad score? It's like something makes you feel sick in your stomach to even think about giving Stevie Y a bad score for anything. It's a bad grade. He's building. I mean, I don't know. We're going to start seeing what these draft picks and everything come out to be now. Steve Eisenman. I know I love Stevie Y. I love Stevie Y. I'm almost positive everything he's doing here is going to work out great. The greatest GM ever. The God, everybody's A plus. Okay, let's just give him an A plus. Everybody loves Stevie Y. Everybody loves Stevie Y. Oh, Sean Patton throws in a B. I don't know. He went out and got a whole crap load of draft picks when he was supposed to be rebuilding. He got some of those draft picks by taking bad contracts and all that kind of stuff like that. He did everything a GM is supposed to do. Whoever wants to go live there, try again, but we're talking hockey. I don't mind going live, but we're talking hockey. Greatest GM ever. Scotty Bowman? His predecessor? I don't know. I love him though. All right, I still got him as an I got him as an everybody went A+ except for Patton, so that barely even brings it down. Yeah, they need depth at center. We'll see what if he doesn't get his center depth, he'll trade for it or something like that. But he's still got a lot of draft picks to come in yet. All right, next. Edmonton Oilers. I think this isn't going to be pretty, I think. The Edmonton Oilers, Kenny Holland. I don't think this is going to be pretty. D-. D- already for Lauren for the Oilers. F- for Ken. F-. Wow, F-. Has it been that? Oh, man. Okay, like Barry, I have a hard time with Edmonton general managers because getting free agents there is pretty tough to get anybody in there at all. Yeah, Duncan Keith was a bad contract to give up picks for. D-. Wow, I was going to give him a C because I thought Hyman was a good move. It's going to be a very offensive team. Crazy offensive team. That's the thing. But he didn't solve the goaltending. They're still going to go with Turris as a third-line center. Apparently, he's rocking the gym this year. That was his main problem. C+, okay. So we had a D-, D, C+. I think we got to go maybe D+. I think we got to go D+. I give him a C. I don't know why I give him a C. I know how difficult it is to get players to come to Edmonton. And if he wouldn't have did anything, everybody would have lost their minds. And they have a limited amount of players they can bring in there. They practically got to beg people to come to Edmonton. As he said when he was talking to Chicago, Nurse is too much money? Probably. But what do? You give him... He's not going to sign a long-term unless you sign him to that $9 million. And if you do a short-term contract and he puts up points like that again, you always feel like you're under fire in Edmonton to overpay and stuff because you're afraid people are going to leave. That's the truth. That is the truth. But as it's also the truth that he overpaid for Keith. I agree. Nurse's defense doesn't make him a $9 million player. He's poor defensively. They didn't get goaltending, but they probably should have spent more time getting Kemper than worrying about getting guys like Duncan Keith. overpay for that if you're going to overpay for anything. So, yeah, Fogel's got stone hands. I don't know what Bear's going to be yet. The guy gets offended so freaking easy. That's the problem with Bear. He's very emotional. So have fun with him in Carolina. He gets upset easy. That's about the problem there. And then he gets flustered and he doesn't play well. So that's going to be an interesting trade to follow. Anyways, we gave him a D+ for the Oilers. Florida Panthers. Oh, God. Zito. Wow. That's all I got to say. Florida Panthers, Zito, what he's done there so far. Name a superhero for an edit. Okay, Batman. Bill Zito. What are we giving for Bill Zito? Florida's an A. Zito A+. Bring it in. That Hornquist trade for Matheson. Boom! What a move. Getting Reinhardt for goaltending that they already had depth in, like their depth at their position in a second. Boom! Like what he is just blowing it out of the park. Zito has not made one wrong move, except for maybe Wenberg pickup. Besides that, it's getting Verhaeghe from Tampa Bay for nothing. I mean, everything is going Zito's way here. I just heard him on Sirius Radio today, too. So we got A+, A+. I got A+. A+, A+. So I'm just going to give him A+. A+, A+. That was pretty easy. Sean Patton's in the low again. Comes in the low, right under the wire. That makes it an A. I got to take off the plus now because he puts a B+. What's the B+ for? What could have Zito done more to get an A+? Yeah, he's just knocked it out of the park. Fantastic general manager there so far. Okay, why couldn't Edmonton have hired him? He was available. Maybe he turned him down. I don't know, but Los Angeles Kings. Mr. Rob Blake. Brought in a lot of young, good, solid young players coming up in their system there. Defense is looking good. I don't see where he's really made any poor moves. Hockey News Reports is an A. A for the Kings. Okay, Lauren, C+. What? CLC. There's always one person that sees something from a different way. Lauren, B-. Okay, B-. You went B-. Okay, why? What is it about the B? Why B-? In between B- and C+. I think they'll trade one of those centers. I think they'll trade one of Byfield, Turcotte, or I think they'll trade them and they'll get wingers. They have the advantage of being so deep up the middle they can use the center to trade for wingers. You can get some killer wingers. It's always better to try to get a winger with the center than the other way around. Points off for the Drew Doughty contract. Yeah, it was kind of high. But was that Blake that did that? Maybe it was actually, yeah. That is a little high for sure. But besides that, I would give him an A. What do we got? B minus, A. A for the Kings, A. Patton says B for the Kings. So it looks like we got an A minus. A minus. And I give him an A because I don't think he's like Drew Doughty contract. It's not terrible. Drew Doughty's still their best defenseman. Yeah, I like McClellan as a coach too. I think they're doing well. I think it was a good, fairly quick rebuild. It didn't take forever. And they still have, a lot of great young players coming up, and they can add and start running for a cup up. I think they did a good job there. Next, Minnesota Wild, Bill Guerin. What are we giving for Bill Guerin? Oh, this will be interesting. What do you guys think about that? Buying out Parise and Suter. I get it. They don't want those guys in the way of the young players at all. And they're probably not going to be ready for 4 to 5 years anyways. Oh, Lauren, big A+. Bringing in Talbot looked like a fantastic move. Drafting Rossi was absolutely amazing, I think. We'll see for sure how that goes. Hey, Team Tuzan, thanks for coming in. We're grading every general manager in the NHL right now. You can put your grades in the comment section, or you can come over to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube here, and you can join us live while it's here as well. You would have kept Suter? I don't know. Apparently, he wasn't a guy like a veteran in the room that you would call like a great leader or something like that. And he was probably only going to be going downhill from here. Suter was also very demanding about ice time. He wanted ice time all the time, and he would actually complain if he didn't get it. So they thought, well, I guess we'll buy him out because we're going to be playing younger players, and we don't want to hear him complaining. So, yeah, I think Buffalo skipped on Rossi because Rossi told his agent he didn't want to go there. I think Rossi told his agent that he only wanted to go to Minnesota, or maybe one of the higher teams that were above that, possibly Detroit. I'm actually pretty surprised Detroit didn't take him as well. B minus for Sean. CL A minus. They have your favorite current player in Fiala. Okay. So we got A minus, B minus, BA plus. I was going to go B plus. So it looks like a B minus. It looks like another A minus. Oh, yeah. You know what? The hiring of Dean Evison. That should be an A right there, maybe. I'm going to go an A, actually, yeah. The hiring of Dean Evison might have been the best move that Guerin has done so far. Dean Evison's freaking a genius. I forgot about that. They seem to have drafted well up since so far too. So, yeah. Okay. That one is interesting. I thought that was going to be interesting. Montreal Canadiens. Wow, this is the Canadiens. Up until last year, Bergevin would probably have gotten nothing. Then he goes and reaches for this. He goes and like basically makes some like just crazy moves that work out to their team making it to the final. That's pretty amazing. So we got one Habs B+. What else do we got for the Habs? I know this is a tough one because up until the Suzuki and Kotkaniemi drafting, I don't think that's an F. I don't know that situation all that much, but to me, the kid looks like he wants to turn his life around, and whatever the case may be, I can kind of get it, but it probably wasn't wise at that time. Let the kid show that he's turning his life around before you just go off and do that. It was ill-advised, but I don't think it's as horrible as it's made out to be. I don't know. Again, it could be. I don't know the situation, so I don't want to judge it. Like, I don't know every detail about it. I know that he took some pictures and showed it around or whatever, so I don't know. I don't think it really took all that much balls, Lord. They weren't taking him ever. Never, never, never were they taking him. It was a great way to keep Allen. But, I mean, the trade for, as much as I'm not a huge Anderson fan, they got him. He still does... plays a pretty good role. I think he'll end up being a fourth liner, but they did it for Max Domi, who is just garbage. The expansion draft bluff was great. Yeah, I think they knew that they knew he wasn't going to be taken. Weichel D- for Montreal. That's a Leafs fan there. Sean Patton A. Lauren B+. F, he's still with Malu, so. I would not have touched that contract either. For a guy who's been injured more often than not, I mean, no way would I have touched it. CLA, okay. Up until he did what he did last year, I would have given him like a D-. And then he did what he did last year and it worked, but I think it's only going to work for 1 year. However, I think the reason why he did it is he knew Weber was going to be gone at the end of the year. He knew it was his last hurrah. Now they can kind of build around Suzuki and Caulfield. I think he did a really good job of stacking up draft picks for this last draft. And he still has lots of draft picks. So he can kind of really build now around Caulfield and Suzuki. I think he did. It was crazy, but it actually ended up doing really, really well. So I'm going to give him a B+. D-, F, A, B+, wow. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs next year. But that is a crazy, all scores. That's kind of what I thought. There'd be grades all over the place. I think I got to go B. And I got a B+. Okay. We're not going to get to all of these today, but that's all right. We got tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be on from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern in the evening to finish this. Nashville Predators. Nashville Predators. I'll let you guys do this. What do you give for a grade for Poile? Yeah, drafting Askarov might save Poyle's job. Like the Luke Tuck pick. We'll see what the Norlander, Grulé, and Struble turn out to. I don't know. You're a Montreal fan, so Montreal fans always like their prospects like they're the greatest thing. So we'll see what they turn into. Goulet has progressed okay. I wouldn't say he's progressed fantastic, but he's progressed okay. Thanks for sharing the lives, you guys. Awesome. Woo. I got people sharing the lives on TikTok. Pretty cool. C plus, okay. You got the B for trench coat. Okay, I got a C minus. It's just I can't get over the Duchesne pickup and Johansson contracts. They're just ruining this franchise. And he hasn't been able to do anything with them since he did it. That being said, his drafting has been very good. Has kind of gone downhill a little bit. But I agree with you. They got to rebuild. Like, it's enough with this trying to be competitive nonsense. You're just going to be a middle of the road team every year and not get a high draft pick not get a high draft pick and not make the playoffs or barely make the playoffs out in the first round. It's like the last thing you want to be. So Sean Patton, D plus for Nashville. So we got a B, a D plus, a C plus. I got a C minus. And that's all we got so far. Is everybody taking off on us now? Don't take off. Got to finish this. D plus, C plus, B, C minus. It looks like about a C. Weichel at A? What are you talking about, dude? Comes in at the last second and does an A. A. Why would that be an A, Weichel? Poyle. What is it about the A? I do like Askarov, but he hasn't played a game yet. That was a nice pickup. Probably save his butt down the road here. Yeah. Montreal, Nashville, New Jersey. New Jersey Devils. Mr. Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. Devils B minus. Great drafting, I agree. I don't know. We'll see if they overpaid for him. I don't know. The guy was up for Norris Trophy like almost every year. Bill Tortolet, woo! Welcome. Thanks for coming in, buddy. New Jersey Devils. Lauren has B minus. Trench has B plus. Weichel has C minus for the New Jersey Devils. Are you sure you're not just grading how well their team is doing? I don't think Fitzgerald has made one wrong move so far. maybe overpaid for Hamilton a tad, but Hamilton was exactly what they needed. Drafting has been excellent. Picking up Kaukonen from Carolina with the what did they trade to Carolina to get Kaukonen? Was it Vatanen? If that was the case, that's like crushing it. Getting Graves was awesome. He's built that defense up like super fast. I don't know what D Bill Tortolet DC minus. My gosh, we are not on the same page here at all. I'm in the trench category. I got him a big A. Big A for me. Yeah, getting Kaukonen for a Vatanen rental, that is freaking off the charts, man. Sean Patton, B. What the heck do I give it? A, B plus, C minus, D, B. G, B minus, A, B plus. Hughes is going to be fantastic. What about Heischer? Heischer is going to be great. Kaukonen, Zaka's having been killer since coming back. I think you guys are underrating New Jersey Devils, but that's the way. That's why we do this, because we have differences of opinion and it's a lot of fun. So I guess it looks like a B for the Devils, and I got an A. Okay, so LMN, how much do we got? We got 10 minutes. We'll do the rest of these tomorrow. As long as we can get 5 concurrent viewers in here. Lamoriello and the New York Islanders. This should be interesting. Lamoriello and the New York Islanders. A plus, that crazy man. A plus, okay. I'm just thinking the mistake he might. The only thing but it looks like he's probably going to end up getting it. They need a score on the wing. Bill Tortolet says B minus. Sean Patton has an A minus, and John Weichel has an A. I think Bill Tortolet is giving them a B minus because they have difficult time scoring and he's never fixed it. And in that way, I kind of agree with you. But he hasn't made too many wrong moves either. He's did some very good moves. And I think he's probably going to fix it, but he hasn't fixed it yet. So we got an A, A minus, A plus, B minus, and I'm going to say a B plus. So I think the average there is an A. A for Lamoriello and the New York Islanders. I don't think their defense on paper is that super great either. But the Pelech signing was fantastic. Pelech signing was fantastic. I don't think it's that great either, but also you should almost give him an A just because he hired Barry Trotz, right? He hired Barry Trotz, or was Barry Trotz there already? Was Barry Trotz there already? Maybe he was. I can't remember. You guys know. Was Barry Trotz there already when Lamoriello went there? I think he was. So he didn't hire Barry Trotz. So any GM that hires Barry Trotz gets an A right off the get-go, I would say. So next, New York Islanders, New York. Oh, he said joined the same year that he came in. Okay. New York Rangers, and we're grading Chris Drury here, which, yeah, well, he did a lot of moves today, so I guess this year. So I guess this should be interesting. What do you guys think about that kind of overpriced Gaudreau move, getting that grit into the lineup with the Rangers? They have okay, I don't agree with you with no center depth. I think Heidel's going to bust out this year. He's only 21 years old, and he's already putting up like pretty decent numbers and a good two-way guy. Lou hired Trotz, well, then he should get an A. Bill Tortolet, oh, wow. We're all over. I knew we were going to be all over the place with the Rangers. Weichel, an A. We're at New York Rangers, CL. And the Gaudreau signing will be something that people will be debating for a long time. But let's face it, Tampa Bay went out and gave up a first for Gaudreau. And how much would they win a cup without a guy like Gaudreau there? I don't mind the Blais in a second for Buchnevich. I think he's a pretty soft guy. They were getting rid of their soft guys, bringing in grit. And that grit can also put up some points too. It's Othman from the draft. Sean Patton has a C. I think the Schneider being drafted, but that wasn't Drury that did that. Drury wasn't a general manager at the time. We're all over the place. I have a B. So Weichel A, D, Bill Tortolet D, Rangers C+, CL B+, C. Wow. D, C, C. I think it's a B-. And I have a B. I got a B. I don't mind what Drury's done. It's bold, but they were soft. They were a soft team. Let's face it. Something has to be done. And when you try to make your team tougher, you're getting tough guys that can put up huge points or good points is like rare. Kachucks are just not out there. You got to get guys that can play and hopefully put up a couple points. Gaudreau is one of those guys that can play. He's tough. He's going to beat you down. He's a playoff performer. It doesn't make sense analytically through a whole lot of things, but we've seen it over and over and over again. If a team doesn't go out and get those players, they don't win. They just don't win. So Ottawa Senators, you guys are already in on it. The Ottawa Senators. You guys already got started with the Ottawa Senators. And I think this is going to be the last one. We'll do the rest tomorrow. Rangers getting Reeves was good, although he can't play with it, darn. But Sens are tough because they're rebuilding. You got to really look at how they've drafted. Yeah, that's the thing. It's sort of an incomplete grade because Okay, these guys that are giving the C here, because this is going to be our last one. Ottawa is very interesting. Is that simply because you're giving a C because you're not sure how these prospects are going to be? Brady Tkachuk was a great, Dorian was a great signing. You know what? The Murray signing hits things pretty bad, doesn't it? The Murray signing could be crippling to that team. Murray really has to be good or they are in big, big trouble. So I could actually see Josh Norris. Their drafting has been very good. Shabbat. Their trades have been pretty darn good too. Getting Brandstrom. What was Stone. Yeah, having to trade away Stone and all that kind of stuff like that. But the thing that was good about Ottawa is they recognized that they had to rebuild and they freaking did it. They didn't sit there and sign a bunch of old people and wait until it was too late. And then they had to go through a 10-year rebuild. So in that way, I kind of like it. You got Sanderson coming up. Their defense isn't great. I agree. But they're sticking with their young players. They are doing an actual rebuild, though. That's the thing. They're not holding on to veterans and stuff like that. I thought the Holden deal was great. They made a mistake in going and getting Dadonov and then trade him away. Like, I don't know what the heck Vegas was thinking with that deal. Why the heck are you picking up a guy that, got his money and packed it in? I'll be amazed if Dadonov works out in Vegas. I think they're hoping it's like a Carlson or whatever. Oh, that's right. Carlson for Stützle. Yeah. That he ended up getting Stützle out of Carlson. We got to get, we're almost done here. We only got 2 minutes left. Patton. So what did we get here out of all of this? CCC, B. I got B plus. So I guess we go C plus. I got B plus. Let's see who's next? Maybe we can do one more. Now, we're going to save Philadelphia for tomorrow. You guys come back tomorrow. Remember, it's 5:30 to 7:30 tomorrow night. Tomorrow evening. It's 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern, 5:30 to 7:30 Mountain Time. All of you TikTok guys, thank you for coming on. I had a lot of TikTok people on today. Sorry I can't converse with you so much, but my NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube. Come sub yourself over here. I'd like to hear your input on these. You can come on and be a part of this. I don't know why that matters, but I'm 47. You gave them a B plus, Lauren? Oh, okay. I still think it turns out to be a C+. Anyways, that's my full 42 here, boys and girls. I got to go pick up the little lady. We're going to be on tomorrow. I'll have my video maybe posted this evening of our coach one. We'll finish this off tomorrow. And then we're going to have some other interesting stuff. Like you were talking about grading individual players. We could do that. I was also thinking of maybe doing the most likely to be traded from every team. I was thinking about doing that after this too. So we could go many directions. And it will be fun. There will be frolic, boys and girls. There will be frolic. Thanks for coming in and enjoying this fine programming. Be here tomorrow. from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern, 5:30 to 7:30 Mountain, and we will finish off this if we can get 5 concurrent viewers or more. Have a great day, everybody. Okay, bye.